A few parts of Echoes of the Eye scare a lot of people, myself included. A quick note on spoilers, this video is meant for players who have already started into the Outer Wilds DLC and have reached the Endless Canyon area. If you're familiar with the game, you know how tight-lipped the community tends to be, and there are good reasons for that. Sure, you can find Let's Play videos out there, but I want to give ample warning. My goal is to focus on what I would argue are the most frightening parts of the game, and if you're not there yet, please take a look after you've arrived. If you decide to challenge yourself and step into the darkness, I want to help you along the way. Once you reach this part of the game, particularly when everything gets dark, many individuals, myself included, may find it scary and unnerving. Let's slow down and look at the patterns that will get you through it. This area of the game can be so intense that I didn't originally recognize how beautiful it was. When you first visit, the building is mostly lit, with mood lighting anyway, and there is a particular door that begs to be opened. Eventually, you gain some knowledge that enables you to extinguish the lights, dramatically changing the entire experience. I'll give you one last warning before moving on. If you haven't gained that knowledge yet, come back once you have. When I realized that I would have to go back into the lodge with some not-so-friendly residents, I started panicking. As a heads up, I'm going to include some tips for avoiding them. I'll first allow myself to get caught so you can know what to expect if you haven't seen and heard it already. You have to pay attention to the soundtrack. When you're in close proximity to them, you're going to hear this low, terrifying audio cue. While it can mean that they're on the next floor above you, if you hear this, be extra careful with your torchlight and movement. Jump scare warning. When they've spotted you and are close enough, they'll rush forward with this cue. It's crazy how effective those pieces of sound design can be at eliciting terror. I've noticed that in Echoes of the Eye, you really do need to have a scalpel over sledgehammer approach, as in you often have to solve the puzzles in abstract ways that aren't always straightforward. The good news is that you really don't need to worry about the pursuers until you reach the other side of the lodge. There is at least one up top, but it won't come down unless you shine your torch up there. But here's the thing, you do need to use your torch strategically. If I focus the light toward them, they'll start approaching me and I can take a side passage to get around. Next, I had to go up 2 flights of stairs to the area with the bridge lighter. This part was a little more tricky, but there is a large room close to the staircase with 2 entrances that you can lure the pursuer into. If you move too quickly, you might unintentionally run into them. Just focus your torch until you can draw them into the room. They won't move too quickly until they're right next to you, so don't be afraid to turn around and get your bearings. Once they're in the room, draw them toward the staircase and then make your way to the lighter. If you're feeling brave, you can make a break for it at this point, but I used my torch to draw the pursuer back in my direction first. Honestly, that is the key to this area. Once you make it to this hallway, it's just a straight shot back to the other side. There is one last pursuer you'll need to worry about, but if you turn to the right and head straight to the door, you'll be fine. I do want to call out the fact that you can enable the reduced frights option, and there is no shame in doing so. I went back in to test it out thinking the pursuers would be a bit more chill. As far as I can tell, the main difference is that you don't get the same proximity audio cues, but the capture is also less of a jump scare. The sound design is wickedly brilliant, so if you're having a hard time, I would honestly rather have you experience the story all the way to the ending with the slightly softened audio than not make it there at all. I personally think that the darkness is intended as a metaphor, or at least as a tool to make the ending of Echoes of the Eye all the more meaningful. Don't give up. You've got this. Don't forget, it's not about reaction speed, especially in this game. It's about slowing down enough to actually see what's happening. That's the panic to pattern idea in a nutshell. If this breakdown helped you face the Endless Canyon more calmly, you might enjoy the rest of the channel. I break bosses, levels, and puzzles down the same way, one pattern at a time. Feel free to subscribe and keep learning how to face these games without all the stress. Take a breath, and good luck on your next attempt.